All right, so we're going to do our best to explain the two-touch rule. This is a rule specific to Upward, specific to our league. So this is not a general soccer rule. The purpose of this rule is to make sure that a team is including multiple players, that you cannot dominate a game with just one player. So try to explain this rule. So at the bottom, you'll see the red and blue arrows trying to indicate, okay, a red team moving from left to right, blue team is defending the goal on the right, and they're trying to move the ball to the left. All right, so my white circle is going to be our ball. So let's say that I have my red player up here, and he's dribbling the ball up the field, okay? Now, when my red team passes midfield, he cannot immediately move to the goal and score. Okay. If he tries to move to the goal, beats the defenders, scores the goal, it does not count. It's a goal kick. All right. Blue team's ball. And this is because the red team needs two touches. That's what's called our two-touch rule on the offensive half. So whenever the ball crosses midfield, the red team has to have two touches. So as this player right here moves the ball across midfield, dribbles the ball across midfield, he then needs to pass the ball to a teammate on the offensive half. So if he passes the ball to a teammate, now two red players have touched the ball on the offensive half of the field, and now this guy can legally score, or he can pass the ball back to this guy. Oh, he's not cooperating with me. He can pass the ball back to this guy who can then score. So he can pass the ball there and score. All that would be legal. Two touches in the same half. Another case is if we have a player on the offensive half and a player on the defensive half. The player on the defensive side of the field passes the ball to his teammate on the offensive half. So far, only the ball crossed midfield, and that's key. The ball crossed midfield, and so far, only one player on the red team's touched the ball. So this player cannot score a goal. He has to wait until he has an offensive player pass it, and then that player can score or that player can pass the ball off and score. So that's our two-touch rule. Now, there are some things that our two-touch rule does not apply to. So let's say the blue team has the ball in the defensive side of the field. The blue team is they're passing the ball. Red team intercepts a pass. The two-touch rule does not apply because the red team did not bring the ball across midfield. So this player can legally score a goal at this point. Okay? So the two-touch rule only applies when the offense brings the ball across midfield. Another case is if red team has a throw-in, then the two-touch rule would only apply if the throw-in is coming from the defensive half. So if the player is throwing the ball in from the defensive half, it has to cross midfield, the two-touch rule applies. If the red team is throwing the ball in from their offensive side of the field, the two-touch rule does not apply. So if he throws the ball in bounds, this player can receive the ball, score, not a problem. The two-touch rule only applies when the offense brings the ball across midfield. If the defense has possession, so the blue team has possession of the ball, they lose possession of the ball on this side of the field. Red team gains possession, scores. It can be one player, and that is perfectly fine. It's when the ball crosses midfield. So if the blue team dribbles the ball across midfield, okay, red team steals the ball back. Now the two-touch rule applies because the ball has to go across midfield. Red has to move the ball across midfield. The two-touch rule applies. I hope that makes sense. If not, please seek clarification. If there's any other cases that you have questions about, let me know and we will add those in.